I can confidently say that I have found the perfect formula to remove a third party. And in this video, I intend to give you that formula so that you can remove your third party, but also, more importantly, have it so that your specific person conforms to you and only you. So be sure to stick out to the end of this video to make sure that you know all you need to know about removing a third party. But jumping straight into it, there are two main reasons, in my view, why there would be a third party within your reality. The first one is your self-concept has created one, and the second one is you have assumed there to be one. Now, starting with self-concept, what do I mean by your self-concept has created one? Well, your subconscious mind takes in the stories that you are claiming to be true through what you focus on and pushes it out for you to experience. For want of a better term, it's trying to prove to you that your experience is what your stories are. So let's say that you have a self-concept of not being good enough or not being worthy enough or any kind of variation that essentially states that you're not chosen, you're not good enough, something about why your specific person wouldn't want to commit to only you. Your subconscious mind takes in these stories and pushes it out for it to prove to you that those things are true. Now, what's one of the best ways to prove to you that you're not chosen, or that you're not good enough, or that whatever self-concept belief that you have that is negatively affecting this situation? Having someone else come in the picture over you. There really isn't a better way to prove that you're not chosen than to literally watch them choose someone else, or that you're not good enough to literally watch them choose someone else, which makes you feel like you're not good enough. So the first way, and I genuinely feel this is the way that most people experience, especially when trying to manifest previous people back, is that their self-concept is aligned with some form of negative story that, unfortunately, their subconscious mind has merely taken in as truth and pushed out for you to experience. Now, the great thing about this, now that you found this video and now that you have an understanding of this concept, is by working on those stories, you will create a new story that your subconscious mind needs to push out to prove to you as true. So let's say, for example, that you did have that belief of not being good enough, and that's why this person has come into your reality. Now we want to understand, okay, I created them through not feeling good enough. I'm now going to work on myself. I'm going to change the way that I view myself, and I'm going to change things about myself if I desire to, so that I can feel internally good enough. And then what this is going to do is it's essentially going to stop that story from being consistently fed to your subconscious mind, the one of not being good enough, and instead feed it this story of being good enough. Now, what do you think that's going to do to your experience? Well, if this person came in as a result of not feeling good enough, and that story is no longer true, by extension, they will fall away. They will go off on their own way, something will happen and they'll be removed. And now by saying that you are good enough to have this person, you're also reflecting in your subconscious mind the idea of you being with this person, leading it into you getting with this person. So what you should be doing when it comes to the self-concept element is to work out what internal story do you have going on that actually created this individual coming in. What things do you repeat about yourself? Start with yourself for now, because the next point will be more about your specific person specifically, but start with yourself. What stories are you claiming to be true, or what do you focus on, or what kind of things have you allowed to be your experience due to the way that you see yourself? Some of the examples, like I gave earlier, are not feeling good enough to have this person, not being attractive enough, being overweight, or things of that nature. Maybe just other people are prettier or more handsome than you are. What kind of stories do you have going on internally that could have created this third person? If you're struggling with that side of things, as in looking at what did I do to create them, another way you could look at it to help you out a little bit further is to look at what you feel is being affected by this person. So obviously we want to remove our awareness from the 3P, but for now we're obviously making use of them just so that we can know where to go forward. But look at the third person in this situation and say, what is it about you that is triggering me? For example, if you feel like you're genuinely really smart and this person is super stupid, you're probably not going to sit there and be like, oh, he's with her because she's smarter than me, because that's not what you believe, that's not what you are assuming, and therefore that's probably not what's created it. However, if you feel you're kind of average looking and this other woman is gorgeous, that could potentially be one of the things that you have going on within your self-concept that has created this person, i.e., oh, he was just going to go off with someone prettier anyway because I'm not pretty enough. So look at it that way. Either look at what you feel to create it, or look at it as in, what am I actually being triggered by within their experience, with them being in my experience, and see what that's telling you about the stories that you're claiming to be true. Once you have an understanding of that list, create the opposing things. So if it is not being good enough, I am more than good enough to be with this person. I've always been more than good enough to be with this person. If it's attraction, I am more than attractive to be with this person. I've always been more than attractive enough to be with this person. And things like that. And then you're going to want to go through your day trying to claim these new things to yourself as truth so that they can replace that old story within your mind. And I suppose I should probably say, when your desire comes to mind, especially if the third person comes to mind, sit there and be like, well, why am I worried about that? I know that I'm more than attractive. I know that I'm more than good enough. And you're just going to want to redirect your focus away from that story. And what this is going to do is it's going to change the story that your subconscious mind holds true about you, therefore shifting what your experience is. If you didn't feel good enough and this not feeling good enough created this person in, by becoming good enough or feeling as though you're now good enough, by extension, you're removing what was the result of that previous negative belief. Therefore, removing the third person, allowing them to come in for you, or allowing a specific person to come in for you. If this video has been of any value to you so far, be sure to drop me a like and a comment down below just to let me know. And for those of you who are new here, my name is Matthew and I intend to make manifestation the simplest and most effective thing for you possible. This channel is all about making it simple and understandable so that you can take it into your own life to actually manifest the things that you want. And I try to avoid all the fluff and all the overly spiritual stuff. So if that's something that you're interested in, by all means subscribe to the channel, and when you do, click that bell icon so you don't miss any future videos that will change your life. Thank you so much for your time. Now into the final point. The second way that a lot of people experience a third person is by assuming they're going to experience a third person. Now what I mean by that is, in a lot of instances when there's a breakup, an individual will immediately go, oh, they're just going to go off with someone else. Oh, they're going to have so many DMs. Oh, well, now they're free to be with whoever they want. Anytime they walk past someone on the street, they're going to hit them up or whatever. Things like that. And what this is doing is it's telling your subconscious mind the story of they're now free to be with whoever they want, therefore creating an experience where they're free to be with whoever they want. Now this one is also very similar to the self-concept one, quite a quick fix. You just want to tell yourself the opposing story that you desire to be true. If you're concerned about them dating someone else, what would the opposing story to that be? Not dating anyone else. But what would you prefer over that? Dating you or being with you. So if you don't want them to be with someone else and you want to remove a third person that may already be in the situation, start changing that story to be back to, I'm with this person. We are in a loving, passionate, committed relationship. We are in a loyal relationship, or whatever terminology you want to use. Because by shifting the story in this way, you are now saying this story that's created them, all of those negative assumptions of he's free to date whoever and yada yada yada, none of those are relevant anymore because we're together. Now your subconscious mind, like I said at the beginning, is merely just pushing out things to prove the stories that you're telling to be true. So if you're saying I'm in a loyal, passionate, committed relationship, and that's where you're redirecting your focus back to consistently, very similar to the self-concept throughout the day, and especially when your desire comes to mind, upon repetition, you're going to impress your subconscious mind with this story, and as a result, it tries to prove to you that you are in this committed relationship with your person. And to do that, the third person must fall away, making room for you to take that slot, and then your specific person comes to you in the way that you desire them to, therefore creating the relationship that you have. So this is two ways that you can remove the third person. But let's say you didn't want to do either of those for whatever reason. You can also remove the third person by removing your awareness from them entirely and residing within the idea that you live a life of fulfillment. If you're placing your awareness on the third person, you're allowing them to expand within your reality. Where your focus goes, energy flows. That's why people that tend to victimize themselves often have much more things to victimize themselves about. People that tend to be very bitter about life tend to just continuously receive things to be bitter about. What you focus on grows. So if you're focusing on the third person specifically, you're going to grow and expand them within your reality. Whereas if you decide to remove your awareness from them entirely, you'll more than likely run the possibility of removing them from your reality because you're starving them from the mental connection that you have created. You may have noticed that the first 2 points, other than, to help you with the self-concept stuff, but the first 2 points were to build up your self-concept to say that you're good enough for this person so that you can have them. And then the second point was to remove your awareness from the third person and place it on the idea that you are in this relationship with someone. Both of those are reflecting the idea of removing your awareness from them entirely. Now, that isn't to say that you can't affirm things like a third person has moved away, or third person and my partner have broken up, and such things like that. But I have found, especially with people that I've worked with, doing it this way, the way that I've mentioned, of removing your awareness from them entirely and going straight to the end result of what you actually want, that removes a third person much more efficiently and in a way that is less draining / strenuous. Because what I found with people that have been affirming person's broken up with the third person, or third person has moved away, by affirming for them, they're just constantly placing them on their mind and reminding themselves that in this present moment they actually exist, which is only actually creating more negative for you if you're allowing it to mentally affect you. So I would honestly advise, use the 2 points that I gave you, work on your self-concept to work on the things that you feel created this third person, and then once you have an understanding of what that is, you don't need to think about this third person again. And the second point of live in the end as though you're with your third person, and then you will get this third person gone, and most importantly, make room for your specific person to come into you, because that's what you want ultimately. If you could click your fingers right now and have anything you want, I guarantee it wouldn't just be the removal of your third person, or a very small population of you maybe, but for the vast majority of you, it would be you being with your person and not the third person. So there's no point really focusing on removing the third person specifically, because then you still have to do the work of bringing your person in. You may as well just cut out that middleman, starve them of the mental energy, and reside within a place that your specific person has come to you. And that is an extremely efficient way of manifesting, and because you're not focusing on the third person, it's not as painful. You're not constantly sitting there trying to affirm them away because you're thinking about what they could be doing with your person or anything like that. And it's extremely successful. A large chunk of the people that I've worked with that have removed their third person has been through these kinds of methods. And the ones that haven't yet are still putting this stuff into practice, and they will do very soon. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it and if it's been valuable to you, drop me a like and a comment down below. If you're in need of any one-to-one help to get you your specific person or anything that you may desire, down below in the comment section and the description is the link to my Linktree, where you can see the links to my website as well as my membership. I offer tons of things to help you out in both one-to-one coaching and on the membership, so check it out based on what you feel you need assistance with and what your budget allows for. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will catch you amazing people in the next one. Bye bye.